What's going on, everybody? This is ODC. That's me here, and I'm here with my Godzilla movie review. I don't know how much time I'm going to spend on this. Maybe not too much. I'm going to try and remember as much as I can from last night. But I did see Godzilla a little bit later. I usually go on if it's not a movie I'm like really looking forward, really looking forward to. I usually go see the movie that Sunday late at night because there's nobody in the theater at that time. It's usually people that have to work the next day. So I am fighting an ear infection. Batman, shut up. I'm fighting an ear infection. I can't hear anything out of this left ear. It's been going on for a couple days now. I got to take antibiotics. I got to go see my doctor tomorrow, all this stuff, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I wanted to get this review in. I'm still working through my all-new X-Men 5-pack reviews. I got a couple of things in the mail today, and I just posted up the video. So if you guys want to check that out, do that. But let's talk about Godzilla. Okay. Definitely, before I start anything with the, and there will be spoilers, so spoiler alert. It'll be in the title too. So this is definitely the hands-down best Godzilla movie out of the two. And the two, I mean the 98 version, and, well, I would just say hands down it's probably the best Godzilla movie that's out yet. Now, that's not to say that there aren't problems with this movie, because there are some problems with this movie, and I'll get into those in a minute. But the movie opens up in 1999, I believe, and it is excuse me. It is at this big nuclear site, and it opens with a little boy, and there's Bryan Cranston and Bryan Cranston's wife, and long story short, there's some sort of like tremors going on. I believe they were like electromagnetic tremors or something like that going on, and it caused some sort of reaction with the nuclear site, and Bryan Cranston's wife ends up dying, and then they spanned forward to present day, and excuse me while I get a sip of water here. They fast forward to present day, and they show the little boy's grown up, and Bryan Cranston is, well, I'll get to him in a minute. Little boy's grown up, and I can't remember the name of the actor. I think it's something Jonathan Taylor Thomas? I don't know. I don't know. Sounds something like that. But I'll look it up right now. How's that? Just so I don't get any names wrong, I will look it up right now. I should have done this before I started the video, but oh well. Deal with it! Aaron Taylor Johnson. Okay. So there you go. Basically, Kick-Ass is in this movie. So Kick-Ass is in this movie. Elizabeth Olsen, which is actually playing Scarlet Witch, is in this movie. He's actually Aaron Taylor Johnson. Sorry, I want to say Thomas so bad. But Aaron Taylor Johnson is actually playing Quicksilver in the Marvel version, not the shitty X-Men version that's coming out next week. And then you got Bryan Cranston and a bunch of other people. But for the most part, it pans now to Aaron Taylor Johnson's character. I believe his name is Ford. Plays his name. I think his name is Ford. Yeah, Lieutenant Ford. It says there. And he's on a plane, I believe, and he's going home. He's in the military. He's a lieutenant. And he goes home, blah, blah, hangs out with his wife for like 5 minutes, and then he's like, gotta go pick his dad up from Japan? What? Okay. So he goes, flies all the way to Japan, gets his dad out of hock, basically, and hock meaning trouble, and it's a very strange like scene between him and his father because it doesn't seem very natural. It just seems like wait, I'll wait for the camera to fix itself. Okay, there we go. It's a very odd scene because it doesn't seem very natural. It doesn't seem like they're father and son. It just kind of seems like a friendship more than a father-son relationship. It doesn't. I don't know. It just felt weird. I don't know. That whole scene in the apartment. Um, so fast forward, they actually Bryan Cranston's like, or Aaron Taylor Thomas is trying to get Bryan Cranston to go home. He's like, oh, your grandson would love to meet you. And he goes, okay, that's what we'll do in the morning. And then in the morning, he's like, no, fuck that. We're going to the quarantine zone. And Aaron Taylor Thomas is like, no. And he's like, oh, wait, okay, let's go. And it was like, what? All right, whatever. So they go to the quarantine zone, and like Bryan Cranston takes his mask off, and he realizes that there's no radiation in the quarantine zone because he was just going back to his old house to find some data. I guess he was trying to find some data from after the nuclear reactor like imploded or what that whole and it like quarantined the whole bunch of the neighborhood that was surrounding the God, I can't talk. The nuclear zone. So their old house was in the quarantine zone. So he takes his mask off. They go into the house. He finds his data in these floppy disks. It was cool to see the old school floppy disk too. But they end up leaving there, and then they get arrested by the police, brought back to this other nuclear zone site or whatever. And they're like harboring an alien, and then the alien breaks out and kills Bryan Cranston by accident. Kills Bryan Cranston, which I just thought was the stupidest thing. I was like, he's like one of the headlining people in your cast. Why on earth would you if you're going to kill him off at the end of the movie. Don't kill him off in the beginning of the movie. It made no sense. It was just like, well, we want Aaron Taylor Johnson. I was going to call him Justin Taylor Thomas or whatever the fuck his name is. Jonathan Taylor Thomas. I'm just calling him that. I'm just going to call him that. That you guys got to deal with it. So JTT, or can I call him ATT or ATJ? No, I'm not doing that. Anyway, Aaron goes to, or I'll just call him Ford. Fuck it. Sorry, guys. So Ford goes to, Lieutenant Ford, like, hangs out with his dad when he dies. Bryan Cranston. Makes no sense. So, buries his father, and it didn't even seem like it bothered him that much. He was just like, oh, my dad's dead. Okay, whatever. Now I'm going to go talk to the military and see what's going on with this other monster. And the military's like, hey, we're going to blow it up. That sounds like a good idea. Maybe not in reality. So they're like, oh, we're going to blow this monster up even though it feeds off of nuclear radiation. So what? You know what we'll do? We'll nuke it. That makes sense on opposite day. So already the best actor in the entire movie is dead. Great. I got to deal with Kick-Ass the rest of the movie and with no emotion. I mean, the guy has no emotion throughout the whole movie. I'm sorry. I normally don't have a problem with this actor, but he was bad in this movie. So, continuing on, we got Aaron Taylor Johnson's character, which I could completely forget in 2 seconds and not care about. Then we have the wife, and they keep panning to the wife and the son and trying to build that relationship throughout the movie, but in a really most awkward way possible. Like, oh my God, we're going to die and we're stuck in this hospital because all these EMPs going off because these aliens have escaped and we don't know what's going on. And they're like, oh, we found Godzilla. And they find Godzilla, and I'm really summing everything up because I don't know. That's just what I'm doing. And they're like, oh, the military we found Godzilla back in 1940, and here's this picture of him right here. See? See him? There he is, right there. There he is. There he goes. So they're like, oh, we got to kill Godzilla. That makes sense. So they're like, we're going to bomb them all. We're going to send nukes and get them together. We're going to push this nuke out to sea and have them fight each other. And then when it'll explode, and then it'll kill them all. These are the people running our country, folks. So, eventually they realize where Godzilla's heading. He's heading to where the aliens are, and they guess where they have landed? In Las Vegas. Because why not? Because I guess that's where a nuclear site is. So, the one alien, or I guess I keep calling it a parasite. I should stop calling it an alien. It's not an alien. The parasite, which they refer to it as, with wings, has wings, by the way, it flies around, and it's the male. He flies all the way to Las Vegas, basically destroys Las Vegas, and sends out a mating call, which they find out that's what the tremors were, the mating call. Now, yes, I know how annoying bunny ears is to do, so that's why I'm doing it. So it's sending out this mating call, and it wakes up the female. So now the female's out, and she's way bigger than the male, but she can't fly around. She's just kind of like walking, and every time she like jabs, I think one of her, I'll just call it a hoof. I don't know what the technical term for whatever the heck she had. I'll call it, whenever her hoof would hit the ground, it would send off an EMP. So, like, all these planes are crashing, and it's causing just total mayhem. So, basically, Japan is fucked at this point, all fucked up. Hawaii has been fucked up. I forgot to add that in. Hawaii got fucked up, too. And there's this whole scene with Aaron Taylor Johnson and this little boy, this little Asian boy. But that's neither here nor there. Neither here nor there. So Japan's been fucked up. Hawaii gets fucked up. Las Vegas is fucked up. And now the plot thickens because Aaron Taylor Johnson's character's family, Lieutenant Ford, is from San Francisco. Why not have the battle in San Francisco? Makes sense. So they find out that Godzilla's heading to San Francisco. Bloop, 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 bloop. Here he goes, San Francisco, and he's going to fight. He's going to, because he's stalking the parasites. And the Asian scientist realizes that, oh, well, Godzilla's on our side. He's trying to restore the nature's balance and save humanity. So you got to let, and he's telling this general, he's like, just let him fight. He's telling him like, dude, just let him fight. Why would you set off a bomb? That's going to end poorly for you. So the general's like, fuck you. Don't listen to you. You're stupid. So he's like, we're going to send this bomb out. And he like talks to Aaron Taylor Johnson. He's like, hey, you're apparently the only EOD operative that we have in the world, so you have to do it. And then he like has this weird scene with it's just so forgettable. He has this weird scene where he's like I'm gonna show people what I know, and he's saying all this stuff, and he's like, you can't use that bomb because that bomb does diggity dick 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 da. And the other guy's like, well, showing your dick size, are you? And Aaron Taylor Johnson just kind of stands here and is like, yeah. So they had to switch bombs because since that mother thing is the female parasite is setting off EMPs, they have to rig the nuke so it runs off of gears and time, or it's not basically set up electrical. It's mechanical, if you will. There we go. I sound like an idiot. It's okay. I always sound like an idiot. But so now this nuke these nukes are rigged mechanically to go off at a certain time, and they have like a ticker clock on them. So they're like, oh, well, we're gonna set this up on a train, and well, I don't know what their plan was. I think I kind of was lost at this point. I was just like, what? What's you're gonna put bombs on a train? Huh? Why don't you just fly the bombs away? I guess because of the EMPs. But anyway, I digress. So back to the train. They set these bombs on the train, and Aaron Taylor Johnson has to go because he's the only EOD guy in the world, apparently. So he gets on the train with his other crew, and they shut off. And they get to this bridge, this big bridge passing, and they have a team that's above, and they're radioing in. They're like, "Are you there, other team? Blah, blah, blah. Let me know. Over." And the other team's like, "Oh my God, we're dying! Oh my God, he's eating me alive! Oh, don't come over here, the parasite's here!" And Aaron Taylor Johnson's like, I didn't copy that. Could you say that again?" And the guy's like, if you can hear me, I'm repeating myself. Oh my God, I'm dying. And they're like, hey, Aaron Taylor Johnson, why don't you go ahead with two other guys and see, or three other guys, and go see what's going on over there. I hear something, but I can't quite make out what's going on. So the dummies, the dumbest military I've ever experienced in this movie, they decide, go ahead, Mom, I'm the star of the movie. I'm just going to do stupid shit. So he starts walking with three other military guys, whatever, and they're walking, and they're like, okay, you two go down the bridge, and we'll stay up here, and that way we have eyes on both. Okay. So they're walking, and then all of a sudden the parasite comes out of nowhere and starts like just destroying shit, and they like turn around, and like all of a sudden the train is coming at them on fire, and the nuke is in the parasite's mouth. It's really funny. So the train's coming at Aaron Taylor Johnson and his partner, and totally kills his partner, and then he like jumps into the water and lives because you wouldn't die from that fall. Whatever. So at this point, all I want to do is see Aaron Taylor Johnson die a long time ago, and I wanted Bryan Cranston to live. It would have made a lot more sense, or just not have this kid in the movie at all at this point, because I just don't care about his character. So now he wakes up, and the military finds another one of the nukes that are left over from the parasite not eating it or finding it or whatever, and they end up finding Aaron Taylor Johnson. Naturally, he's the only survivor, naturally. So they find him, get him aboard. I'm trying to think of the next scene, because it's bits and pieces here, folks. I have a... what happens next? What happens next? I think Godzilla comes in next. I think they're following Godzilla, and he's like at the bridge or whatever, and they're like trying to evacuate San Francisco at this point. So they're like evacuating San Francisco. And they're like, oh, let's put all the women and children. They're like at the hospital. So like all the women and children have to go first, except for all the nurses. And like one nurse is like, I'll take all the kids with me and put them on this school bus. Okay. So they get on the school bus, and the mother's like, here, go with this random lady that's a nurse that you, I guess you know, never seen her before in a movie. I have no idea. So all these kids are like with a nurse and like a school bus driver. They're on the short bus, and they're on the bridge, and like Godzilla comes, and then like the military freaks out, and they're shooting. Hold on, this is the best part. This is how stupid the military is in this movie. They start shooting at Godzilla. All of these like naval boats. They have like all these naval boats, and like these jets are flying by, and they're just fucking trying to hammer down on Godzilla. And Godzilla's just kind of standing there, like, laughing at him. And he's just like, you guys are shooting at me. That's cute. You guys are so cute. But all the missiles are missing him. And they're, like, fucking shooting up the San Francisco bridge, and there's like people and like innocent civilians on the not only that, but children on the fucking bridge, and they're shooting like missiles, and they're missing Godzilla and like hitting the bridge and almost knocking the bridge over. And like I think there was like one military guy that was like, "Guys, stop shooting! There's civilians on the bridge." Like, how would you not know that there are civilians on the bridge? Are you that stupid? Really? Like, nobody told you that there were civilians crossing on that bridge? Or how about this? If you think attack is going to come, close the bridge down. I digress. So now, like the bus driver is like, "Oh, I got to get the kids out of here." Blah. So he's like, "Get out of my way," and they get the kids off of the the bridge. So Godzilla goes like, he's like traveling, and like he's just like, "Get out of here, military, go away." So military goes away, and they're like, because they're really annoying in this movie. I just don't like. Oh God, they're awful. So Godzilla like finally gets to San Francisco, and I'm fast forwarding through a lot of just chunks of fat right now that just could have been cut out of the movie that I could care less about. So, they are I believe they're in San Francisco, something like that. I don't know. They're in a fucking city. I think they're in San Francisco. So now, since they have these nukes, what are they going? Oh, they devised a new plan to ship out the nuke that they found from the first failed attempt on the train. The one failed nuke that they found, they were going to rig it with a 30-minute timer and going to... Wait, what were they going to do? Wait, didn't they have to find the nuke? I'm so confused. I'm confused, and I saw the movie. I think I'm mixing things up. Oh, they were going to rig this nuke. They have to find the nuke. Wait, I thought they found the nuke. I can't remember. Something happened with a nuke, and this review's going great, guys, isn't it? But you'll love it. They find it. They find this nuke, or they have to do this like halo drop to find the. I don't know what's going on. This is confusing. I'm just gonna fast forward through all that because that's just stupid. They have to like do this like halo drop, and if you know what a halo drop is, it's basically you're 30,000 feet up in the air, okay, and you're basically parachuting above the clouds, okay, through the clouds all the way down, and you basically have a oxygen tank on, a full mask, suit, everything, parachute suit, everything. It's very long jump. Excuse me, I can't talk. So they're dropping down, and it looks really cool. Like that's actually a really cool shot that they did with all the Halo, the jumpers, and they had like these red flares attached to their legs so they won't run into each other. That scene was pretty cool. I like that, and you can see them drop in, and like Godzilla's fighting. Oh, that's why I skipped. Godzilla's like fighting. Oh no, I didn't skip that part. Excuse me. So there we go. Godzilla ends up. Let me just backtrack. Sorry, guys. I'm backtracking now because this is live and I make mistakes and it happens. Godzilla gets to San Francisco before the Halo jump. Sorry, backtracking. Starts fighting. Now this was a scene that really bothered me. Now that I can remember it properly. Godzilla starts fighting, and you're like, "Oh my God, Godzilla's gonna start fighting something! Just beat the shit out of something, Godzilla!" They finally start the fight, and they're following it's like Cloverfield. They're following the wife through the city as she's like kind of watching Godzilla, and like Godzilla shows his face and like all this. He's like, "Ah!" They finally start fighting. He starts fighting the parasites. And they're following the wife, and she like goes into this building, and these doors start shutting like this. And you're like, And like in the movie, I was like, wait, no, they're fighting. No, wait, I want to see what happens. No. So they start fighting. The doors close. Cutscene. Now I got Aaron Taylor Johnson back in my face. As if I don't have enough of him in my face, I have to look at him again. So they cut a really cool fight scene, which could have happened that they could have shown between the two monsters and Godzilla. Instead, we want to show you another scene of how to get a nuke back. So now they have devised this plan to blow up the nest. So that's what I messed up. They have that salvaged nuke, and they're going to drop it in, okay? And that's why they have to do the halo jump. So they're dropping in, they're going to set up the nuke, and they're going to explode it, I think. I think that's what they're going to do. But then, like, they're like, oh, it's not enough time. We have to get the nuke out of here because it's not. They're trying to stop the nuke because they don't have enough time to leave or whatever the hell it was. But when they enter into the nest while Godzilla's fighting the two monsters and distracting them, they're in the nest because all these parasites are going to start hatching and like take over the world or whatever. So they're dropping in that bomb to blow them up and destroy them. But why would you drop a nuke onto these parasite monsters that feed off of nuclear radiation? So, they're like, we gotta get this nuke out of here. It won't stop. So we gotta bring it out to sea because they finally realize that they're gonna set off a nuke on U.S. soil and it's gonna kill a bunch of people. So they're like, we gotta get this nuke out of here. This is stupid. So they get the nuke out of there, and the Lieutenant Ford decides to stay back and incinerate all of the parasite monsters because that was probably should have been the first plan in the first place. So doing all this bomb shit, which is completely unnecessary. So they go take the bomb, put it on a boat, and they're like, we're going to ship the boat out, and then they'll follow the boat because that's where the food is, the bomb. Which was their original plan, and they never stuck to that in the first place. Yet again, not making any sense. So Godzilla's still fighting, and he's kind of getting his ass kicked because he's getting double teamed by a flying parasite, and the other one's like really big and like buff, but it's like a woman. It's like a female buff. She's like, it's like China, the China of it's like the China of parasite monsters. So they're like fighting Godzilla, and you get a couple cool scenes of Godzilla kind of fighting, getting his ass kicked a little bit, and then and then the mother, the female, leaves the fight, and Godzilla's left with the flying one, and he just kicks the shit out of the flying one. It was so cool. The flying one comes at his back, right, and he's like trying to dig into his Godzilla's back, and Godzilla just swings around like this and whips his tail, and it like impales the male flying monster and shoves him into a building, and then like the building fucking impales the neck of it and kills it, and it was pretty cool. So that was really awesome. And then Godzilla's like, I'm gonna whoop some ass, but I need a break. Hold on. So he like sits down, takes a break, and he's like, so then they pan back to Lieutenant Ford because God, we can't get enough of him. So they follow him, and he's on these docks where they got the bomb on the boat, and the female monster's coming to get the food for her babies. That doesn't. I think she realized at this point. I think she saw that Lieutenant Ford killed him, but got distracted by Godzilla at one point. There was that scene I don't care about. So they're at the dock, and the bomb's on the boat, and this is at the very end. And you see the female like just wiping out the military guys, just like eating them and like bashing them with her big EMP hooves, whatever you want to call them, legs, I guess. And then she like Of course, Lieutenant Ford gets on the boat with the bomb, and like he's like, I gotta get this bomb out of here. So he like turns the boat on, and the boat starts going, and then the female starts like going into the ocean, following him, and just as she's gonna like fucking eat this dude, Godzilla comes and just like beats the shit out of the female monster. He like grabs her, grabs her head, opens up the mouth, and just breathes the fucking fire right down her gullet. Like, dragon breath. Right down her gullet. And then the head falls off the body, and he's just kind of like standing there like a badass. And I was just like, holy shit, that was awesome. And he's just like standing there with the fucking head in his hand like this, like, yeah, what's up? I helped you humans out. I got this head. I don't know what to do with it. Oh, I'll just drop it in the ocean. I'm done with this hoe. So he drops the head in the ocean, and he kind of just like, fuck, man, I need a nap. I'm fucking exhausted. So he like falls down, and at this point we think he's dead. So he's like, oh my god, Godzilla's dead. This sucks. So then we pan to I believe they're in 49ers Stadium. I could be mistaken. Mistaken? No. Mistaken. But it's like everybody is set up in 49er Stadium, I believe it was. You see the red seats. Or it could have been some other state. I don't know. So they're at Candlestick Park, I believe. And everybody's, looking for their families and looking for medical attention. And Lieutenant Ford finds his son, and then he finds his wife, and then they have this big thing. And Godzilla's like, they're like staring at Godzilla, like after they leave the stadium or whatever. They're like looking at Godzilla, and then like Godzilla just kind of goes, and then just opens up his eyes and starts looking around like, yeah, you guys owe me big time. I'm sorry I had to take a nap. I'm not dead, by the way. So he like wakes up and gets up, and there's like, it was really kind of cool. This was the cool part. Not only just the fight scenes were cool, and I really wish I had more of them. I know I was kind of like acting like an asshole during most of this review, but I'll get to that in a second. He's like gets up and he's walking through the city, and he's just like, and they show. But this is what I'm worried about. Like, aren't people freaking out because this fucking monster's walking through the city? But they're like, yay! Thank you for killing those monsters that were gonna hatch little hatchlings, and they were probably gonna eat us all to death, and then they would be running the world. But this fucking monster is walking through their city, and it's like, is he watching where he's stepping? Because he's probably stepping on motherfuckers like all the time. But I digress off that. It's just me, and I nitpick when I watch things. I'm just like, wait, wouldn't he be? Can't outrun Godzilla. Anyway, so he's like walking through the city, and he like just goes back into the water, and then they show like eye level with the water, and then it cuts to credits. So I mean, there's the whole story. I tried to get as much as I could. I'm sorry if I had to backlog. I'm just going off of what I saw last night. It's now 1 o'clock in the morning, the next day, so it's been more than a full day since I've seen it. So sorry if I had to backtrack there, guys. Hope you had fun on the journey that was this review. But my afterthoughts with the movie, yes, it's the best Godzilla movie out there right now, but I mean, it's not really saying much. I enjoyed it for what it was, and by the end, I was happy that they decided to make Godzilla more of a protector as opposed to just a villain monster, because I'm overseeing that. Like, I don't want to see Godzilla as this the military against Godzilla again. Like, I'm over that. I don't want to see that. I saw it once. It was bad. It was a horrible movie with Matthew Broderick. Don't want to see the 1998 film again. So I'm glad they went in a different direction, and I'm glad they decided to go with, him fighting other monsters. I like that. They should continue that. I mean, I want to support this movie, I just wish there was less human characters in it, or less time for them. There should have been more time for Godzilla because it's called fucking Godzilla, not fucking Lieutenant Ford. Okay? It's not called Aaron Taylor Johnson. Um, if I were directing the film, I would have killed off Aaron Taylor Johnson, and it would have made more sense for the character of Bryan Cranston, which was the best actor on this cast, hands down. They should have just had him because it would have made more sense with the plot. Because Aaron Taylor Johnson, when they were asking him questions about what happened and all this and all the radiation back in 1999, he didn't know what the fuck was going on. He's like, I don't know. He literally said that. He goes, I don't know what's going on. I don't know. So it was pointless to even have his character. They shouldn't even have had his character. They should have had the little kid die in the nuclear accident. Should have like brought him to work. Bryan Cranston flips out. This should have been a Bryan Cranston film, not Kick-Ass's film. Okay, that's the point I'm trying to make. His character was pointless. It shouldn't have even bothered with it because he's a completely forgettable character. You don't care about the relationship between him, his wife, and his kid. They don't really even focus on it that much, and when they do, it's very short and sweet, and that's it. So completely forgettable character. If they would have focused more on Godzilla, because it's a fucking Godzilla movie, it would have made a much better film, to be honest with you. The fight scenes were very minimal. Very minimal. Okay? The movie felt... the movie left me just wanting more fight scenes. That's all I wanted out of it. Was if there was 3 more fight scenes out of it, I probably would have been a lot more happy with the movie. Not that I wasn't happy in general, but it just left me wanting more, and not in a good way. You know what I mean? So with that being said, I don't know. I want to recommend this movie, but I mean, you could totally. I want to recommend this movie because I want everybody to support it, so we get some sort of like trilogy. Maybe we'll get a trilogy out of it. It'd be nice to have a Godzilla trilogy out of this. It would be really cool too. But I mean, you could wait for video on this. You really could. I'm just being honest here. You could totally wait for video. Was it worth my money to go see it? Sure, it was worth my money. I saw it in 3D. It was pretty cool. I don't know what I haven't seen it in standard. So, but I mean, it's definitely worth a DVD purchase, I would say. If it just bothers me that Aaron Taylor Johnson's character was just all about him, really, and you could just care less about him. They really should have just. I can't stress this enough. They really should have just not even had that character. And really, and I really want to emphasize this, it should have been a Bryan Cranston movie. So, I don't know. With that being said, I gave you my recommendation. You could either, if you're a Godzilla fan, go out and see it. If you're not, you might want to pass. I don't know. Just being honest with you. It's still a decent movie. If I had to give it out of 10, I'd probably give it like a 7 out of 10, to be honest with you. It's like a 7 out of 10. It could be a lot better. Hopefully, maybe we'll get a second one, and the second one will be better. Maybe it'll be like The Amazing Spider-Man 2 to Amazing Spider-Man, So, with that being said, that's pretty much it, guys, for my review on Godzilla. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you didn't agree, to each their own. But that's my view on it. I'm going to go take some medicine for my ear, and hopefully I can hear out of this ear tomorrow. But right now when I'm talking, it sounds funny. So with that being said, stay tuned for more of my reviews. I got a lot of stuff that I've picked up this week and last week. So like I said before, I'm still working through my all-new X-Men 5-pack reviews, so stay tuned for those. Hope you guys enjoyed this review. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thanks for watching, as always, and I will see you guys on the flip side.